Victims in sex crimes have rights. We're learning a bit about that right now. A Knoxville youth coach accused of sex crimes against kids got out of jail today.
He walked out this afternoon after a judge ordered his release once the victim notification process was nearly complete. Our Caroline Mueller has been on this story all day and is now live outside the courthouse. Caroline, what have you learned?
Yeah, Casey, about 2 hours ago, I was able to confirm that Peak was released. And now Peak posted bond and paid for GPS monitoring within hours of his arrest, but still spent another full day behind bars. Today in court, a judge ordered him out. Now, a grand jury indicted Peak last week on 2 counts of aggravated sexual battery and 3 counts of invasion of privacy involving a victim under 13. Knoxville police then arrested him Monday at his Sequoia Hills home. Police say this involved children he coached. This morning, Peak appeared in court for his arraignment. Prosecutors argued a policy specific to Knox County gives victims a 48-hour window to sign up for GPS alerts and set exclusion zones before a suspect is released. But his attorney argued he should have already been free.
The state argued that the law requires certain notification procedures, which they were absolutely correct about. The issue, though, is that the defendant is being detained while that process is going on in violation of the law.
The judge ordered Peak released by 2 this afternoon after prosecutors told the court the final victim's family was expected to complete the GPS notification process this afternoon. And we did confirm he was released just after 12:30. His next court date is set for May 26th. And there is another layer to this story. Last September, months before his arrest, Peak and his wife filed a lawsuit against 3 Knoxville community members, accusing them of defamation. The suit claims those individuals spread rumors about Peak's conduct with children, rumors Peak called baseless at the time. And that is an ongoing open case. And we also want to remind you that, as with any defendant, Peak is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Live in Knoxville, Caroline Mueller, WVLT News.
All right, Caroline, thanks.